I, Mrs. Uma Agrawal, again welcomes you all for the topic Introduction to Bookkeeping and Accountancy. You all are again welcome to the further lecture on some important accounting terminologies. Discount. In modern era of digital trading, to attract customers in this competitive world, various and heavy discounts are offered for attraction, and customers also are attracted is a new fundamentals of today's trading, and even consumers make up their mind on discounts offered and then go for purchasing or buying. So discount means concessions or allowances given by the seller to the purchaser. Discounts are of two types. First one is trade discount and the second one is cash discount. Trade discount, which is given by one trader to the other trader. It is common given on gross price of the goods. Which means that if the gross price of the goods is rupees 1000 and 5% trade discount is offered, then the trading price of the goods would be rupees 950, and which is not recorded separately in the books of accounts. Means trade discount does not appear in the books of account or does not mention separately in the books of accounts, but it is deducted from the gross price or list price of the catalog price of the goods. The second part of discount is cash discount. This discount is given for encouraging prompt payment like spot payment or payment within specific period and calculated after deducting trade discount, which means on the net price of the goods, and separately appears in the books of accounts. Means cash discount is always shown separately or recorded separately in the books of accounts. Next term is solvent and insolvent. Solvent, a businessman with sound financial status, gets many opportunities and different areas of doing business because other traders are also sure and convinced that they will not run into the risk of bad debts. So they are always willing to enter into trading transaction with such person and is also termed as a solvent trader. Thus, solvent means a person carrying more or equal assets than liabilities and in a position to pay off his debts, such as the calculated asset of a person is rupees 1 and debts of rupees 60 paisa. So, this type of person is called as solvent person. Insolvent, such person is termed as solvent. Likewise, if a person has more liabilities than assets, he is termed as insolvent. See, who is an insolvent person? Who has more liabilities than assets. Means liabilities are more than assets. If liabilities are 5 lakh and assets are of 3 lakh, then that person is called as insolvent person. Why? Because such as a person or trader has 1 rupee liability and 60 paisa assets and no other source to collect the differential amount, then the courts of law declared such a person as insolvent and distributes his assets proportionately against his liabilities and closes the debts of such person. Means the court of law declared this type of persons insolvent and their full liability should be distributed proportionately and closes his debts. This type of person is called as insolvent person. Accounting year. Earlier traders used to follow different accounting years. But now 1st April to 31st March is the accounting 12 months period defined under Income Tax Act. For the said period, every trader maintains their books of accounts to analyze its financial status. Means accounting year starts from the 1st April and ends on 31st March of every year. 12 months period for accounting year is must, which is followed by all the traders. This is called accounting year. Trading concern and not for profit concerns. Trading concerns means it is a business established for earning profits, also called as commercial or profit making organizations. For example, grocery stores or any organization dealing in consumable goods. See, what do you mean by trading concern? Trading concern means profit making organizations. These types of organizations' main motive is to earn the profit or to maximize the profits. Their main aim is to earn the profits. Non-profit concerns, vice versa, if an organization is established for rendering services to the society only, such as schools, hospitals, sports club, which promotes art, science, health, etc., without the aim of profit earning, then such organizations are termed as not-for-profit concerns or not-for-profit organizations, where these types of organizations main motive is not to earn the profit but to provide the services to the society. These types of organizations are called non-for-profit or not-for-profit organizations. Next term is goodwill. This is an asset which cannot be perceived by senses, normally sensed by touching hands or visible by eyes. It is a reputation and normally intangible attached to a business concern on skill of employees and management, quality of products and service, and consumer satisfaction. It is expressed on reputation in terms of money. Goodwill is the reputation of the firm which expressed in terms of money, which is an intangible asset. See, goodwill is the reputation of the firm. Any firm wants goodwill because this type of competitive world, any organization wants to earn the goodwill or reputation in the market, financial reputation in the market. The next terminology is profit. Every business is established with the sole motive of earning profit, and this can be achieved if a trader sells his goods for a more price than the purchase price and the differential amount is profit, such as goods on adding all allied expenditures. Purchase price comes to rupees 1, and if the goods are sold at a price of rupees 2, then the profit would be rupees 1. That is called profit, means purchase price is less than the sales price. The result should be of profit. Loss. Similarly, if after adding to all allied expenditures, if the cost of the goods is rupees 1 and the goods are sold at rupees 90 paisa, then 10 paisa is termed as loss and booked by the firm. Means where there is cost price is more than the selling price, then the difference of both the prices is a loss. For example, if goods are sold for 50,000 and all expenses paid amounted to rupees 60,000, then loss will be rupees 10,000. The next term is income. It is the revenue earned by the business from various sources like income, dividend, commission, interest, etc. Some amount may be receivable or instantly released by providing services, etc. How any firm or any organization should get the income? If any type of dividend, if any organization purchases the shares, then they earn income as a dividend on shares. Commission or any type of interest from the bank, that is called income, revenue income earned by the business. What do you mean by revenue? Revenues are income generated in normal business activities, either from sales or service provided. Revenues are also one type of income which is generated from the business activities. Which type of activities any type of business do? That is sales or any type of service provided. On that service provided or on any type of sales, some income or revenue should be earned by the organization, that is called revenues. Assets. Assets means the property for the organization. Right or thing owned which are valued in monetary terms are assets. Any physical thing or right owned that has a monetary value is called assets, such as land and building, plant and machinery, etc. Assets are of three types: fixed assets, current assets, and fictitious assets. One by one, fixed assets. It gives long-term benefits to the business and may be tangible or intangible, such as patents, computers, etc. These types of assets if it purchased from a organization but it gives long-term benefit to the organization, that assets should be called as fixed assets. Current assets. These are held for the operating year and easily convertible into cash at will, such as stock, bill receivable, debtors, etc. See, current assets means what? Which is easily convertible into cash at will. Means if any organization or if any owner want to convert or he want money, then that time he should easily converted the asset, current assets like debtors, like stock into cash. That asset is known as current assets. Fictitious assets. These are imaginary assets which have no realizable value and not tangible. These are imaginary assets, means imaginary, these assets are imaginary or not represented by tangible possession, and such expenses are known as, or such assets are known as fictitious assets, such as expenses, heavy expenses or amount paid on advertisement. The next term is liabilities and types of liabilities. In every business, it creates assets as well as liabilities, without which there can be no existence of any organization. So liabilities are those which the owner of the business needs to pay some other person either regularly or in intervals, like loan, bank overdraft, etc. Means in any organization, if assets plays very important role, then liabilities also creates by any type of business. Which type of liabilities? There are mainly three types of liabilities: fixed liabilities, current liabilities and contingent liabilities. Fixed liabilities. Fixed liabilities are major sources of funds like long-term loan, secured loan, etc. These types of liabilities for long-term liabilities, secured loans means if any organization wants to take loan facilities from a bank, then that type of liabilities is called fixed liabilities, because these loan facilities should be given by the bank for longer period. Vice versa, short-term sources of fund payable by within a year are current liabilities, such as bills payable, creditors, etc. Means for a year, or these liabilities should be payable within a year are current liabilities. For example, short-term loan, bills payable or creditors. The next term is net worth or owner's equity or capital. All these three terms are more or less the same, which denotes the fund provided by the owner to start and run the business. It may also be said as assets being more than liabilities, which may also be termed as capital or net worth and can be in the form of cash or kind. For example, assets are rupees 5 lakhs and liabilities of rupees 2 lakhs. Then the owner's equity or capital would be rupees 3 lakhs. That is liabilities deducted from the assets. The net worth is equal to, it is formulated as net worth is equal to owner's equity is equal to capital. The last but not the least term is contingent liabilities. Contingent liabilities means what? Uncertain expenditures which may arise in future on happening or non-happening of an event is contingent liability, which do not affect the financial status of the business, thus not shown on the liability side but noted as footnote in the balance sheet, like compensation claim of a workman in the courts of law and liability arising or not depending on court verdict. See, which type of contingent liability means, if, see the example, if any workman claim for a compensation, but court should decided that that compensation is given to that workman or not, that liability or decision of the court of claiming of a workman for this type of liability is called as contingent liability. Means this liability or this claim of a workman is only decided by the court. That liability is called contingent liabilities. Means it may arise in future or happening or non-happening of an event is called as contingent liability. So students, here are basic terminologies or terminologies, accounting terminologies is over. See you in the next lecture. Thank you.